Welcome to the Barbershop Breakdown. It's your man Ross goes squeeze off with
Rich Blackman.
Today we going back to an old friend of ours, I guess an old friend of some, but O.J. Simpson. Seems like he's in the news again today. Fill him in on what's going on, Mr. Rich Blackman.
So everybody sitting up there making a big stink about this dude opening a Twitter account. I myself, see, it's such a sensitive subject, man. I myself, I think it's actually kind of funny how much of an uproar these people are making, and I understand it goes along with the fact that he's walking around living life like he didn't allegedly murder these people. So of course you got everybody all upset, and they're just like, yo, how are you letting this man just do whatever he wants to? Now you're giving him a social platform to just talk his shit. And I just think it's funny.
Well, I'm a little bit of the opposite of you, and probably conventional people, is I think that, well, I think first of all, he shouldn't do the social media, because it's already been a case I'm looking at right now that happened about an hour ago, where they said O.J. Simpson's Twitter account threatens a man with knife emojis. And you can see like it's supposed to be like an inbox or direct message Twitter, and it's a whole bunch of knives on there like he's going to get somebody. But at the same time, I like to think that he wouldn't do that. But at the same time, he opens himself up for these type of trolling things to happen, or hacked accounts to happen when he gets on there. Now, one thing I do think that he should be able to live his normal life. The man did time. He was obviously set up for that kidnapping thing in Vegas, and he did time for that. He beat his case, and I'm just one of those people that thinks the law says innocent until proven guilty, and guilty is only, you had to be they had to guilty without reasonable doubt. And I think there's reasonable doubt that he may not have done it. So I just won't assume that he did it like so many people have assumed. And I think the man has to try to make a living and earn income and be relevant to himself. I mean, the guy's in his 70s, man. I think he's like 71 years old or something like that. Why should he have to just live in some little nut house shell if he really didn't do anything?
So you think that him having a Twitter account, first of all, what is he even going to be talking about? That's the question I had.
Well, according to when I listen, if you listen to his little video that he put out on Twitter, he's going to be able to say, speak his opinion on different matters. He said politics. He said sports. He even said fantasy football, fantasy teams on sports. And then also what has happened right now is Nicole Brown's, I think it's Ron Goldman's sister or something to that effect, has a podcast out right now. And I heard she just did like 2 episodes or something to that effect. And I think she's making him look really bad in this. So maybe he must be able to speak out against that.
I mean,
and hold on. I don't think we mentioned this. Today is the 25th anniversary of when that all went down.
That's not a good look. I'm not even
19. It's not a good look? The Twitter account?
That's not a good look. That's not a good look. I think that part, honestly, I think that's done in poor taste. And I think that, honestly, OJ kind of, what's the word, man? He's very strategic about certain things. I think that in his mind, honestly, he got away with it. And I think that he strategically does things to kind of put a fuck you out there. and
I ask you this.
Be one of them.
I ask you this. If this was you had a wife or ex-wife, and everybody thought that you killed your ex-wife, but you knew that you didn't do it, wouldn't you want to move on at some point?
I mean, of course, but 9 times out of 10, given the situation, I think I probably would move on quietly. And OJ doesn't do that.
He wasn't quiet before, though. So you, in other words, you're saying you want him to be somebody that he was not before. Because remember, before this happened, OJ was on Hertz commercials. He was on OJ Orange Juice commercials. He was in movies. OJ was everywhere. OJ was, I'm trying to think who he is today. Who's a superstar athlete that's on everything? LeBron James or whoever you want to say. He was that guy. He was in matter of fact, bigger than LeBron James has probably been in a handful of movies. This guy was in a ton of movies. He was in everything. So now you want him to become a different person because he was wrongfully accused of something. Now, if he did it, I fully understand where everybody's at. And a lot of people think he did it, but we don't have the proof, or at least the legal system did not prove him to have done it. So is he just going to be guilty in the law of public opinion forever, and they don't want him to do anything forever and ever and ever?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, that's the reality of it. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, there's not. Listen, and I noticed this show is really not about the trial, but when they say no, I know it's not about the trial, but when they say not guilty, I think black people looked at it as a victory. Unfortunately, looked at it as a victory because white people have been getting away with so much for so many years that, you know, black people just kind of look at it and say, "Ha, you know, we got over them this time." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, if you ask a lot of black people, did OJ do it? They're gonna say, yeah.
You think so?
89 to 95%.
I think that's a trumped up number. All I know is this: in the day and age of matter of fact, what is that movie that's on Netflix right now? It's a 4-part series about the Central Park Five.
Mm-hmm.
How many people thought they really did that? Come to find out they did not do it, but a lot of people thought they did that. It's no different. And you know, people think people did something without absolute proof, and you're punishing someone for something that they may not have done without absolute proof and assures you they did it. Then it's kind of hard to be like conclude in your own mind that they must have did it and they got away with it. Because I'm pretty sure, and matter of fact, we can see that. We can go back in time. You can see the news clippings and all that stuff that happened, you know, when we were young kids. But, you know, that Central Park Five, so many people thought they really did that. And come to find out they did nothing wrong. They had no idea what was going on. They were incarcerated, wrongly. And the only reason they didn't beat it because they didn't have the money to afford a proper lawyer. Now, if they would have had a team like Johnny Cochran and the boys, they might have beat that as well. But they wouldn't rightfully so they should have beat it. You see what I'm saying? Somebody may come out years from now and say they actually did the murders that of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman.
Yeah, and his name is going to be Arnthor.
Oh, man.
Simpson. And I'm going to tell you, this is how he's going to do it, man. He's going to be on his deathbed. He's going to be laying there. T-minus 15 seconds to check out time. And your boy is going to say, "Oh, yeah, I did that shit." And he going to check out.
I wouldn't be surprised if he says, I just want everybody to know I did not do that. Because my thing is this. Now, granted, once again, we're focusing on the trial when we were talking about the Twitter account, but I've never understood how one man, what was the other person doing, you know, while he was killing one of them? The other one was smoking a cigarette and just waiting their turn. I mean, what was going on there? You know what I'm saying? While he was decapitating one of them, the other person just sat there and smoked a cigarette and waited for their turn. That was not a one-man mission. That was not a one-man mission. So I've always thought that it was not a one-man mission. And now, as far as his Twitter account goes, he may be an interesting figure. I mean, it's far less interesting people who have Twitter accounts and chime in on everything. You know, if he wants to spark a buzz, O.J. Simpson having a Twitter account is going to spark a buzz. Because anytime he says somebody had a hiccup, it's going to be a spark about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. This is going to be definitely a show to watch. Because I'm not going to lie, man. I'm interested. So,
well, here's the only thing I fear is that Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. The next thing I'm worried about is they're going to hack his account, and before you know it, it'll be child porn or some type of celebrity nudity or something that'll get him in a world of trouble. I mean, I even see online, because I always mess with OJ, and I doubt if this is even true, but it says OJ sets the record straight about Khloe Kardashian rumors. I don't know if you heard that he is kind of, they think that he may be her father. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that actually a while ago. I heard that, yeah.
Man, I don't even know who made that up, and how is that even possible? And according to this picture, they're supposed to look alike. I don't know if I see it. I don't think I see it, but I guess it's possible. I don't know. Anything's possible in the world of Hollywood, but
I mean, the family was close. OJ and Shapiro, their father was really close. So that's where they got the whole thing out. She had an affair on the husband with OJ, and bam, there you have that. So I honestly just think that's just something that was trumped up just to get some more ratings for this show, to get their name out there a little bit more, because the first time that I heard this was right around the time that the show really started popping.
Got you. Okay, I'm new to this. I'm now hearing this for the first time with all this stuff going on. So I guess when it all boils down to it, it's going to be interesting to see what OJ has to say. I'm just waiting for him to get hacked and for the child porn to pop out and they try to lock him up again. They're going to say he was trafficking little kids somewhere and all that. I can see it happening. I don't know about you, but I think they're going to use this to get him again. That's the only thing.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. That may be a possibility, but no, not possibility. That's probably what's gonna happen. But my thing is this, man. I actually think the dude should do a talk show. I'll watch it.
But only thing about it is the guests. What kind of guests did you get? Who's going on OJ's show when people want to say they don't want to buy your music or they don't want to watch your movie because you're dealing with OJ? I wonder would that happen.
That's the twist. He gonna say, hey, every night there's gonna be a show. He's gonna say, hey, I invited so and so on the show, but they didn't come. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be crazy. Well, all right, everybody. Well, we're gonna put this up on the page once again and see what you think about OJ and his Twitter account. Do you think he should have one? Do you think he shouldn't? Do you think it's gonna be interesting? And do you think, hell with him, he's just a murderer? So, which is very possible. But once again, thank you again for listening to the Barbershop Breakdown Show. It's your man Roscoe Squeeze Off with
Rich Black, man.
And until next time,
peace.
As they say, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community. We discuss everything under the sun while bringing you that barbershop-style convo in a podcast. It's hosted by myself, Roscoe Squeezeoff, and my co-host, Rich Blackman. Please check us out on our Facebook page at The Barbershop Breakdown Show on Facebook. You can also join our private group from that very page. If you want to text us any of your comments or ideas, you can text us at 754-CALL-BBS, which is also 754-225-5227. We look forward to all your comments, all your ideas. If you have any topics or ideas you'd like to even be on our show, text us, communicate with us on Facebook. We can make it happen. This is the Barbershop Breakdown. You can go to our Facebook page, The Barbershop Breakdown Show. You can also friend us on Facebook by searching for Barbershop Breakdown. You can also go to us on Twitter at BarbershopBDown. And then you can email us barbershopbreakdown@gmail.com.